Look at a quick application like what we have seen in the last class. Again, so many things new. I want to find out whether a website is having DDoS attacks. Anybody know what is the meaning of DDoS? Correct.
Distributed.
Okay, it is distributed denial of service. Very important term in technology. What is denial of service? What happens if you have your bank website and assume that there is a hacker sitting here somewhere and hitting the login with 1,000 requests by a program? Immediately the bank will identify that it is a DDoS attack and it will blacklist that IP so that for certain amount of time that IP will not be able to log in again. That's called denial of service. Every website will naturally be implementing this. Claims or banks or transactions, PayPal, everybody. Otherwise, this is one of the ways by which you will avoid security issues or fraud, right? Now, I have some data, very simple data, input.txt. And my data contains this IP, let's say 192.1.1.10. There is another IP 192.1.1.15 and again 1.1.10 and again 1.1.15 and then 192.1.2.10, 192.1.1.15, 192.1.2.10. Let's say these are the websites of different computers. From this I got 4 hits. From this I got 3 hits. Again 4 hits. Again 2 hits. Again 3 hits. 4, 5, let's say.
That's the same as the one up there.
Intentionally I put it. Right. Okay, and whenever you are seeing this, there is a rule that you are putting in your router that if anybody is sending more than 5 hits at a particular time or within certain time, then it is an attack, let us say. So tell me, how will you find it out? What is the total number of hit came from 192.1.10? It is 4 plus 4, 8 plus 3 plus 11. Plus 3, 11. What about 192.1.1.15? It is 3 plus 2 plus 4. It is 9. And what about 192.1.2.10? That is a different number, which is 3 plus 5, 8. Let's make greater than 8 is an attack. So this is not an attack because it is not greater than 8. But this is an attack, this is an attack. I want to write a program and finally I want to visualize it in a bar graph. This is 192.1.1.10. This is 192.1.1.15. This bar graph is showing like this. This bar graph is showing like this, which means that, okay, it is exceeding the number 8, which means that those are the DDoS attacks. Again, an end-to-end example, right? From the data, you are creating the output, and from the output, you are going to use the visualization. And today, we are going to use one of the most modern tools called R, and we will integrate R with our results. If you don't know what is R, it is an equivalent or replacement, nowadays considered to be a replacement of the world famous tool called SAS, Statistical Analytical Tool, right? What is analytics tools do? Analytics tools will allow you to run statistics on the data. What is meant by statistics? Standard deviation, regression, analysis, linear algebra, all these will come in statistical analysis. Very, very important, right? And what happened over a period of time is that even though this tool was existing, with the arrival of big data, with the arrival of more college students graduating with the knowledge of R, R has become almost an equivalent competitor to SAS. The reason is, one, very expensive. Second, you need a lot of experience to learn this particular thing. This also needs the beautiful in-depth knowledge of statistics, but this is free. And all these packages are $50,000, $100,000 in SaaS, whereas this you can just download and use it. Facebook, LinkedIn, all these big companies, they create their analytics using R algorithms. That is very important. Why? Because later you will see that Spark also seamlessly integrate with R by a package called Spark R. So learning R is a different field. Why I'm introducing you is that if you feel that this is something which you can know and this is something which you can learn, this is something where you can put your expertise on because you are good in statistics, then you can take that particular path and then create a beautiful resume with all R algorithms on the top of big data. Hottest job in the industry. So we will do that R today and just the introduction. You can download any of the documents and then you can start learning R. It is a completely new language, completely new different tool, but very, very promising. You will look at the statistical jobs and machine learning jobs, analysis jobs, you will see knowledge of R. And if you know the R language and R knowledge, very easy to go to Python. And if you know R and Python, then you can easily go to Spark R. That becomes the world of machine learning, artificial intelligence, analysis, etc. Okay? So we will just show you how these things are done. So first let's start with how to create the input data.
I saw somewhere that Python's replacing R.
Python will not replace R. Okay? Can Java replace the C++? Answer is no. Can C replace? It is not possible. It is not a threat also. The reason is this. There are so many people in the world who are familiar with Python and they tend to write their machine learning algorithms in Python. Why? Because Python has got lot of libraries in machine learning. So the usage of Python is a lot.
Right.
But if you know the equivalent things in R, what I'm saying is you can easily shift to R, or you can use some R, some Python, etc., etc. It's always mix and match. No one tool in the industry can suffice your needs. Python has got big problems. As far as I am concerned, I don't like Python. The reason is it is not a strongly typed language. It is very, very loosely typed language. A lot of compilation errors can come. A lot of runtime errors can come. Whereas when I am looking at Java or Scala or Spark R, I can see that it is strongly typed. It will give me errors when I do the compilation itself, which is better than getting an error in production. So there is pros and cons. Depending upon what you like, you can use it. Okay. So let's start by creating the input file. How will you create that input file? Let's call the input file as VI. We'll call it as, let's say, today is 28, so September 28 input.txt. That's the starting point. Always we create the data. And remember, in the real world, from where this data will come? Your iPlanet logs, your web logs. It will hit on the web server, correct? Any application will have a web server. The moment it is hitting the web server will print all the logs from where everything will get printed. Everything will be there. That will be the input of data for you. For us, we are going to create this particular input manually. Okay. So let's create September input.txt. If you want to do, you can do along with me if you are fast. So VI September input and I am going to write 192.168.1.10, which is having a what is the problem? Okay, 192.168.1.10, and that has got a number of hits as 4, right? And I'm just going to copy this particular line many times and I can change it very easily, right? So I'll just write this one and then copy and then come to the next line, right? And start pasting it, right? Paste and then again paste, again paste, again paste, just create some random number. You don't need to be exact. All right, I created some rows. Okay, I created some rows, and Udaya, you have started your virtual machine, correct? Okay. That is 10, and I'm going to change this one as 15, and I will change this number as 5 or 3, whatever it is. Okay, that is not the means our intention is making sure that some data is just created. Okay, so this I will make it as 5, this I will make it as 6, this I will make it as 12, and this I will make it as 15, and that 15 is equal to again 4, and then I will make it as 12, and then there is a 10, 10, 10. Okay. Let's create a rule, and we will internally assume that anything more than 8 is going to be a DDoS attack, right? So paste, and I'm going to put some numbers where the number is less than 8. So this particular guy is just 4, and another number I'm going to create. This particular guy, let us say 11, it is just 2. Okay, it's 20. Okay, so I got some data, and as you can obviously see, some of the data there is as you can see here, this is 2, so this is not a DDoS attack, because with the number 11 only 2 is there, but with the 20 it is 4, it is not a DDoS attack. But with the 10 you see a lot of hits are coming, so something suspicious is going on there. Similarly 15, 5 plus 4, 9, there is something suspicious going on there, right? So we will think that anything greater than or equal to 8 is a DDoS attack. Just create some data. Okay, you don't need to follow exactly what I did. September 28 input.txt is the file. So I am coming out, and please observe what I am doing. I am going to create a directory in Hadoop now, right? And the directory name I am going to do is Hadoop fs minus mkdir scp28 as the directory name, right? So this is the usual normal Hadoop command where you create a directory. And after you create the directory, you are going to put that file into that directory by issuing the next command, Hadoop fs minus put September 28 input.txt to the folder September 28. So we did the initial work. Tell me, what is this called in the industry, this particular work? It is called data ingestion, ingestion. So data ingestion is a very important part in Hadoop. We are doing it manually. Ideally, it will not be manual. How will you create this particular file? Tell me, ideally, if you are doing this for a production implementation, you will have this log file. Your ETL tool, Talent or Ab Initio or Data Stage or Informatica is going to point to that particular directory. You will schedule it, and you will write a simple ETL to take this particular data from that mass log files, and you will write it to a particular file. That's how that September 28 input.txt will be officially, formally created in the environments. Are you getting it? Here we are doing it manually, and this is the purpose of ETL. What is ETL? Extract, transform, and load. There is another one also nowadays called ELT, extract, load, and transform. That's also possible. Actually, if you are asking, we are doing an ELT rather than an ETL. If you think very deep. Why? It is the data, once the data is coming in, your Hadoop is doing the load and transform, is it not? String tokenizer, you are tokenizing it, right? So the transformation is at the end instead of the normal ELT. So if somebody is asking you a tricky question that what is the difference between a traditional ETL tool like a Talent and Hadoop, the answer is a Talent kind of tools normally does ETL as opposed to Hadoop MapReduce, which is ELT, which is extract, load, and transform, right? Just think, right? So we got the input file, and now what we are going to do, we are going to write the program. And remember, all the templates and everything is available to you. So tell me the directory where all your tricks, passion codes are there. It is PassionBytes. And if you remember, we created a work directory, and what I am going to do, that work directory I don't want to touch. What was that work directory containing? Which program it was containing? Population count. So let us change that directory name to population count. This is what you should do. Whenever we go to the next example, we will change the existing one to what it stands for. So how will you change it? Move work folder as population count, so that whenever you are referring to this at a later point of time, you will know that it is a population count program. Sorry. So what I am going to do now is I am going to create a copy of population count. Remember, never create a copy of concept 1, concept 2. Why? It contains the build.xml. That build.xml is coming from my machine. It is referring to wrong MapReduce lib directory. Remember, there is a lib directory where we kept all the jar files. We created that population count customized for you, so that you should copy always that population count. Okay. If you copy concept 1, what you should do? You should overwrite the build.xml with your build.xml. And where is your build.xml? In population count. Always apply common sense. Remember? Otherwise error. You will tell that I am not able to compile my code. Why? Build.xml is not copied correctly. Alright. So I am going to create the population count. I am going to write now cp minus r population count into another directory. Let us call the DOS attack analysis as the name of my program. So DOS attack analysis is the name of the directory that we are creating. And now if you look at my directory, I have got DOS attack analysis as a directory created. Now I am going to work on that. See, population count will remain as population count. I can refer to that at a later point of time. Now I go to the CD, DOS attack analysis, and as you know, I don't need that unnecessary files. Why? Because all these are coming from the population count. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to write rm minus r, the classes directory, the dist directory, the attic directory, the temp directory, and the test directory. And if I now look at the ls, I am into the plain vanilla build.xml.
In build.xml, you defined all those things, attributes, classes, all those.
Right.
So why do we need that? When
Very good question. Very good question. What is the name? Okay. I wanted you to follow the professional build. Okay. In the professional build, dist stands for distribution. That is where your jar file is created. Test is for the testers in your organization who wants to do testing. Temp is if suppose you are working on a mock-up data of your production, you will normally keep it in temp so that you can delete it later. Attic is a normal word that is used in the normal industry. Sometimes it is used for keeping external jar files, etc. We don't have all these things now, but we are going to have all these things later. That is the reason why it is following that professional tag. If you look at any official build, you will see normally these names. So you won't get surprised that why these are there, right? Okay, so you got build.xml and source. Okay, remember again, make double check. This is how you should play. In the build.xml, is it referring to your MapReduce lib or not? Yes. That's the key. Otherwise, your program cannot compile. And make sure you are creating the jar file inside your dist, whatever name you give. See, bhaskar.jar. Okay. And just to make sure how you can change it, I am going to change this today so that you will clearly know what a jar file is doing. So instead of bhaskar.jar, let us call it as DDOS.jar. That's all. And whenever you run the program, make sure you are writing in the dist folder Hadoop jar DDOS.jar. And then you are giving the corresponding class name.
In the same build, again, you pointed different packages in the down.
Very good. I am never using it. This is that is why I told you, you apply common sense. It is coming from my program. So in my example, when I started Hadoop, I wrote a cat.java and I wanted to run that particular program with my build.xml. So I just wrote it. But as if you are not using and run, this will not be called and it is useless.
So in the same build, we can put multiple.
As many things you want. Only thing is that this target name should be unique. I cannot write target name run and again and another target name run. It will give me an error. Or you can just go and delete if you don't like it. Why an build.xml should have many target files? Remember, it is not for me. A tester may be running his program. Another person may be running another test example. Another person wants to change this build.xml and wants to add his or her own target. So that build.xml will become big. If you look at JBoss build.xml, it is 10,200 lines. Why? If you look at another build.xml, which I will show you later, some of my build.xmls, it is about 300 to 400 lines. Why? It is called extensibility, where you will be plugging in your own classes, your own things. Feel free to change. I already gave you Apache and build documentation available on the web. You can zip it, you can SFTP, you can do whatever you want. What happens? If your jar file you are creating in your unit system, your local office laptop, and you want to move it to production or move it to stage environment, you need an SFTP. If you are intelligent, you will not do that manual SFTP by FileZilla or WinSCP. What you will do? You will write an AND task. And how will you find it out? Just to go to the web and then just go there and then find out and SFTP task. Enter. And the first it is going to give you how to use and SFTP task and what are the things to be used. What is an example? Finish. If you don't know how to learn these particular things, you are not going to learn anything.
So this is XML. Actually, we need to know the
Task. The task to be used and the syntax, and that is why example is given. Correct.
XML.
There is an example. And task, target name, how to create an SFTP task.
Yeah, not that. The build.xml you have given, right?
Right.
That how to create, like you have target name and.
Tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you want to do. Now you tell me what you want to do. Tell me. You want to SFTP, correct? Okay.
Do you have any skeleton of how to write the XML?
This is the skeleton, my dear friend. This is the skeleton.
The idea how to.
Yes, exactly. You go there and that is why I gave you this.
Yeah.
He asked, no, what is the need of this attic and all those things. I gave you as a template.
Yeah, and I think that I know, but this XML, so we have to.
Yeah,
follow
so
the same one.
change the program name here, change your class path, whichever you are working on, change or add your own directory if you want, and you add your task, whatever you want, and from where you will get the task names? From the documentation.
So these tags are the commands like a file set or those are.
Please read the documentation. That is where hours of study is needed, Bhaskar. That is where I spend my nights. When you study that, you will take that documentation, you will read, right? Simple and example, start with that. 1 million to 2 million links you will get. But don't concentrate on all these things you learn Hadoop, right? Because so many tools will come.
Yeah, but.
But this is beautiful. And when you go to Maven, you will see much better than Ant. So finally settle on something, right? Can you tell me what is the difference, what is the problem with Ant? What you have to copy always if Ant has to work? Your MapReduce lib, correct? In a professional environment, what do you think? What is the size of that jar file? And somebody changes the jar file, version changed, you have to change MapReduce lib also, correct? Very bad. How can you avoid it? When you write the code, you tell that go to internet, link it dynamically, don't copy it. So that wherever internet is there, you don't have to copy MapReduce lib. That is called Maven. That's for your information. Okay, don't worry. Amazing things. Okay, so that build.xml is there. And now what you are going to do? CD source. Remember, this is where Bhaskar made the mistake. It is in COM package. So, I have to refer the class anytime. Without this package name, I cannot refer. So, inside this, I have got Bhaskar. Let's try changing it. So, move Bhaskar to, let's say, Passion. Just for showing you again the package dependency. So, I changed the package name now. Now I cannot refer com.bhaskar. If I refer com.bhaskar, it will tell you class not found. I should refer com.passion. And now go inside the passion. And what is the first important thing that you need to do? In your code, you have to change the package name. But you don't need the test file. So I am going to delete that particular test file. It is not a problem if it is there, but I want it to be clean. And now if you look at less population count, let's change the name of the program first of all. Okay, so move population count as DDOS analysis dot Java. See, look at that. DDOS capital. You have to be careful. Remember the first class. I moved it. And now I am going to call DDOS analysis.java. The first thing I need to do, since I changed the package name, I have to make the changes here also. Hey Thomas, class. Yeah. You know Thomas?
Yeah.
So whenever the big data is stuck, he will call. So com.passion.
Still telling us Spark happening, right?
Yeah, I think he was.
He was immediately.
Yeah. So he was one of the batches. I think in your batch or previous batch. Yeah, previous batch, I think. Okay, com.passion. And here I am going to change. DDOS capital. Come down last. We made the mistake last time. Job, name, we will just change. Even if it is not changed, it will not give you an error. Why? Because it is a string. Any string you can give, Ravi or whatever you want. But to make sure that this one, DDoS analysis. Okay, capital letters. And this particular population count.class has to be changed now, and you have to give exactly the same name. If you give a mistake here, it will not work. DDoS analysis.class. So you made that change. Maybe in this explanation also you can give this is how it is called, DDoS analysis. Any change in your code? Yes, because remember we took state name, all those kind of things. I don't have a state name. I don't have this one, right? I have only two tokens. What are they? The IP name and the count. So let's write that. String. See how simple it is. Are you not familiar now? It's your fear with Java should be over. Huh? IP name. You got the first string. And count. I don't need this. Word.set. IP name. And no change here. Instead of population, it is nothing but your finish. See, what is it?
We don't need that space upcase.
It is needed. It is string. Remember, you are reading as a string, right?
On the safe side.
Safe side, correct. So whenever you handle string, it's a nice idea to have uppercase dot trim is being called. All right. Now tell me, you must do something inside the reducer. Can you tell me what?
Criteria 8.
What is the criteria? Huh?
Greater than only display greater than 8 here. Some is fine. If some, I think if condition.
Yes. So if that sum is greater than 8, then only that write will happen. Think, if it is raining, take an umbrella. So take an umbrella is your action. If you don't write if it is raining, what will happen? You will take an umbrella every time. But if you put if it is raining, take an umbrella, then you will take an umbrella only if it's raining. This is how we used to teach C in 1995, 97, some time. if condition. So if that is greater, so if it is less than 8 or less than or equal to 8, will it print? It will not print, and that's what we want in our analysis. You can print and analysis later if you want to. So either in the reducer you can put the rule, or you can do it at a later point of time. All right. Now I want you to learn one more thing. In Hadoop, whenever you print the output or print the output, it will print the word space the count. Correct? Have you observed? There is no comma in between. I want a comma in the output. How will you do it? I cannot do anything here. Remember, if I do something here, put a comma or something like that, what will happen? Can you guess what will happen? Think.
No, that is some is number.
Okay, assume that at the time of writing, I am writing a comma here. Key, put a comma and occurrences of word. What will happen?
Because we didn't define the parameter in the input.
Not because of
I think key value will be failed there. One is key value. Is it 3 print?
Anybody? Reducer is happening in one machine or many machines in the ideal environment.
Many.
So if everyone is putting the comma, what will happen to your output? It will give you the wrong result, right? You should not be able to do that particular comma writing without using anything that is provided by Hadoop. Okay, I will show you how it is. You may need to refer to another program. I think the name of the program is I have given the name of that program to one of the persons who attended the previous class. forourson.com/passion, and inside the forourson.com/passion, and there is a directory word cloud wasavicount.java, and if you come down, there is a context.write. Yeah, that's the one which you have to copy. So I just copied it here, and I'm going to show you how it is written. Just remember this of how you will be putting a particular comma. You are adding it as the first parameter inside the method. Bhaskar, you are correct, but inside the method, not in the function level. Now it will put a comma whenever it is writing that particular output in the final line. And that will happen only when if the sum is greater than 8. Now, how many statements are there under this if condition? One statement or two statements?
One.
Please look.
Two statements.
Two statements. If you want two statements to be executed on an if condition, what you should do?
Yeah.
Remove that semicolon.
No, not remove the semicolon, Bhaskar thing. You have to tell that these two statements are part of,
Same.
yeah, that is where the brace is coming, right? Now that two statements are part of it. So if sum is not, okay, tell me, if I don't put this, what will happen? Okay, you are telling sum is greater than 8, then only set it, right? Otherwise, it will write that particular value anyway. So you don't want it. This is programming, okay? In the if condition, if you have ever written, whenever you want multiple statements to be part of if, you will have to put it inside a block. So our program is now complete. Escape, Shift CC, and what we need to do? We need to open another terminal as usual, right? And go to CD PassionBytes, and inside the PassionBytes, our name of the folder is what is that? DDOS. Yeah, DOS attack analysis is the name of the this one. And now ant build or just ant. It is compiling. If there are no errors, you will get build successful, and this time it is not Bhaskar.jar, it is DDOS.jar. Right? The program compiled. And what we need to do now? cd dist. cd dist. Hadoop jar. What is the name of the file? DDOS.jar. And Bhaskar, what is the name of the class I should write now?
DDoS.
I know.
And com dot.
Yeah, let him tell na.
From the
Ah.
DDoS analysis.
And the
You are not listening.
passion.
Passion dot.
This
This should be correct. Absolutely correct. DDoS analysis. And what is the input file that we created? September 28 input, correct? And let us create September 28 out. Right? What is error?
input path does not exist.
No, is that a,
Where is it?
Correct.
Input path does not exist, correct? Where is it?
it's a path down to correct? I mean, it's not a file.
So how will you know which is the input? Hadoop fs minus ls. That's all, right? See, all of you are watching and you didn't tell me.
September 28th.
It is just September 28.
Info was the file name.
And we created September 28 out. And now the job has to run without any problems. If you get safe mode, please change it. So now you are running the MapReduce. It is a completely new program, completely new analysis.
No such element exists.
Right. So where is the error? Look at that. So how to troubleshoot this? No such element. String tokenizer next token is not there. So we have to go back and we have to change the program. There is something wrong. Where is the token? Okay, tell me where the mistake is. Why it is telling me it is not available? Sorry? What is the input file again? vi September 28 input.txt, correct? We have got all the IPs and we have got the number. So our data is accurate. All right. And now let's look at the program. Where is error? This is how you should figure it out. Okay, tell me somebody. What is error? While tokenizer has more tokens, you are taking the first token and calling it as IP name, and then you are taking the next token, and after that word.set IP name, and then context.write new interwritable. Yeah, where is error?
What was the
I think
error?
that the dot period is counting as the.
How? Beautiful, Devraj. Tell me how.
Because you do the set in string tokenizer. I think you have to use the dot there.
Please look at this line. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you do.
String tokenizer, you remember whatever you are giving, it will be splitting the string, whatever you gave here. So tab, it will split, that's correct. New line, it will split. A carriage return, it will split. Dot, it will split. What will happen?
It will take 192 has the first one.
Beautiful. So what I need to do? So I have to go here and remove the dot, right? Otherwise you just give the space. So I am going to go here and I am going to remove that dot. And I don't need a comma also. That's it. Comma is not a problem, but comma is normally used in the text file. So later we won't get any error. And let's now try. This is called a debugging. Right? You don't need to know Java for that, right? Just to go through the code. Oh, okay. Execute line by line in your mind. You will get it. All right. And now compile. This is our compile window. How will you know that it is compiling whatever changes you have done? You should see compiling one file. See, compiling one source file. If you don't make any changes, you will not see that. I will show you. If I execute it one more time and look at the message that you are getting. See, didn't compile. Why? There was no change. It's the power of ant. Ant knows by the timestamp whether you changed or not. All right. Now go to CD dist. Now there is another problem. Your output directory is already created. So what I need to do before running? Hadoop fs minus rmr September 28 out. That's the directory name. See? If you don't delete it, you will get an error. Because in Hadoop, you cannot overwrite. All right. Go and run the program again. Enter. And look for any errors. There might be errors coming in again. We don't know. So now string tokenizer. You are very, very clear. That's it. So now we have corrected the errors. Clear the screen. What we are going to do now? Hadoop fs minus cat September 28 out slash part dash r dash 1 2 3 4 5. Anything more than 8 came? Anything less than 8 came? No. So we have controlled that. And now comes the fun. I don't want you to install R on the virtual machine. Why? Because R can be installed on your local desktop, whether it is Windows or this one. It will help you a lot to do experiments. You don't have to start virtual machine every time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this result file onto my local file system, which is Mac. And then I will install R there. Okay. So how will you copy it to local first? Hadoop fs minus copy to local. Better to write September 28 out slash part star 2 dot. Part star is nothing but part dash r dash 00 ls. You got part dash r dash 00. I will just call it as move part r0 as results dot csv and vi result dot csv. Did you observe that there is a comma? That's because we have written the code for that. Let's write a heading. IP and don't forget the comma count. So result.csv is there. In which directory it is there? In PassionBytes, DDOS Analytics, dist. And I already told you what you need to do if you want to connect something from the local. Open FileZilla and SFTP. What is IP? ifconfig 10.1.10.195. Go there. SFTP / 10.1.10.195. Correct. And then username Cloudera and the password Cloudera. And click on Quick Connect. Don't save the passwords. Do not save passwords. Click OK. If you want, you can. Okay. All right. And now you connected it, and you have your home directory inside that PassionBytes. Where is PassionBytes? So inside the home, you have got the PassionBytes directory. Where is it? Home / Cloudera. And I want to go to the PassionBytes directory. Yeah, this is PassionBytes. And inside the PassionBytes, we have the DDoS analysis. And inside that, we have dist. And you see your result.csv. And I am in users / yanum. I am just copying it. Copy it. After copying, I am opening a browser. R. Install R. R project for statistical computing. R version 3.6.1 or 3.5.3. Let's take the stable one, which is a one less. Okay. So click on download, go to CRAN and select one website. This is called a mirror site. Download R for Mac. Those people with Windows, please select this one. And R 3.61 package. Allow. It's a small file, not a big problem. The package will get installed. And double click the package. Continue. 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 Agree. And install. Use password. Yanam is needed here. Okay, everybody saw your password in the screen. Okay, close. Move to trash. Whatever that installer we downloaded, we don't want it anymore, right? Because we installed it already. So move to trash. What did you install? You installed R engine. Now you need a UI. R has got a UI which is coming with the engine, not so good. So next step is, after R engine, R studio. All free. Enter. This is available in your company. You can easily take the subscription and you can start practicing. And look at the free version here. Click on download. And select R for Mac. R, Mac. Yes, here. You have to select the corresponding version. Allow. Remember, it will not work if R engine is not there. Okay. And double click the DMG file after downloading, because that is the installer. R Studio. And you got your R working. Open. Agree. So just allow that much. Okay, depending upon your system, it may take fast or slow. So you got R, and this is the prompt, a greater than symbol, where you will be writing all your R code. Now, I want you to go to, I think, let me just check, CD PassionBytes, ls CD concepts 3, is it inside that? CD src ls CD com ls CD ravi ls, no, CD PassionBytes, custom writable data, is it inside the, what is this data folder that we created? No, right? No, it's not. Clear? No. Let me check in the PassionBytes site. Okay, foroursun.com /passion, and then let me find out where it is. No, not in the distribution. Okay, webcloud.r. Okay, ravi.r, and I'm going to press enter, and all right, I have got the file path, and I'm going to copy this particular one. So first I have to install some packages. Control C, and just to copy whatever is there, okay, it is there in ravi.r, and just paste that one and then press enter. So it will go through some of the installations. Remember, in Java you needed packages on the top, and all the Hadoop packages you put it in MapReduce lib. In R also you need packages. It is exactly like Java. So whatever packages are needed for your program, you will have to install it, and that's what I'm doing. So it is installing that packages now, right? After packaging, you can just write this particular code. All right, it is taking the file now, and remember the result.csv we have created. It is looking at a path, and that path is wrong. It is file path equal to home/cloudera, and I don't want this particular path. So how will I give the path? I have to change this particular code. What I will do, I will copy it and I will be changing that code. I will give you that particular code soon. I am going to change that particular system, particular thing, and I will upload it as the new code. The output is going to be a graph or a word cloud. What is a word cloud? Have you ever seen a word cloud? What is meant by a word cloud? So please look at this. And R word cloud, I'm exactly using this particular program. And when you click R word cloud generator in R, and if you click, you will see that a word cloud looks like this, which you will see in most of the websites, right? Depending upon the word. So the word with maximum occurrence will become big. In our case, the IP with the maximum number will occur big, and then the next one will be small. So you created a word cloud. In one of my friend's graduation, as a friend's daughter's graduation ceremony, I took the tweet from the audience and I used exactly this program and this MapReduce to create a real-time word cloud of what the people are talking about her, and showed it on the screen just 2 months back. That's an application, a real life application. Is that clear? I'll give you the code. Just give me 5 minutes. All right, I'm going to stop recording.